Power, or I should say just overall, and what a weekend it was. And I went to tacos and tequila, which was fun. I know some of y'all got some nice little tickets to that. And I got to see some old faces as well, unexpected. Got to see some old faces as well, faces that I love. Y'all, we good on YouTube. 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Rhea Riley's out today. Andrew holding it down on the ones and the twos. Andrew gonna find out that I'm a nice guy until stuff ain't the way I want it to be, and then all of a sudden I let people know how I feel. I'm not a nice guy. Oh well, it is what it is. That's cool. It is what it is. Can't be loved by everybody, especially by no backdoor boys. But like I was saying, it was a great weekend, Truth Nation. Went to Tacos and Tequila Fest. Saw a lot of old faces that I love. I saw DZ. Y'all remember DZ from back in the day. Ben and Carrie were there as well. They were all hosting and introducing big-time artists like B.O.B., Trina, Lil Jon, and all of them. So that was really, 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 really cool for me. And I just want to say shout out to Young Black Excellence who are doing their thing. Like, shout out to all the great Young Black Excellence that's out there doing that. I'm so proud to have played a role in assisting the next new wave of black media talent in Milwaukee. Like, that meant everything to me to see all them cats that, and ladies that I worked with and seeing them on stage, introducing big-time artists. Shout out to Homer Blow. He was on stage as well. So, but it was really cool to be able to see that mark that I helped make here in the city of Milwaukee by helping start this station and being able to, help young folks get an opportunity. So it was an awesome feeling to see that and know that I played a role in helping to make a difference. But then on top of that same night, so I get home and I drive to the crib. And I'm like, oh, yeah, the fight's, fight probably on right now. I got home at 10-something. I'm thinking, the fight probably on. I go sit down. I said, what in the world? In the middle of the co-main event, halfway through. And so then I'm trying to keep my eyes open for the start of the fight, get to 11:45, and there's a damn mariachi band playing. I'm like, what is this? I ain't come here for this. And so, that was a great fight, though, because I did, after the mariachi band was done, Mexican Independence Weekend, I believe, I was so happy to be able to watch that fight. I mean, it's ended very late, and I feel bad for folks on the East Coast, because I definitely would have been asleep on the East Coast. My lady went to bed. She said, yeah, I ain't watching this fight. But great fight. Shout out to my boy Bud Crawford for holding it down. I don't know why folks didn't think he could beat Canelo. I mean, they're about the same size height-wise. Canelo obviously is, when he rehydrates to be bigger. I know he moved up in classes, but they're both about the same size. And so, shout out to Bud Crawford. But with that being said, I got a new producer holding it down today. There's something called the Weekend Recap that you see in there. I'm going to need you to go ahead and just hit that button. Make sure the hotkeys on and hit that button.
Truth Nation, we know you have a busy life and the weekend went by too fast. If you missed any of the headline stories, no worries. We got you covered on the top stories you may have missed. Tap in for the Weekend Recap on Truth to Power. Kyle, tell Truth Nation the biggest headlines they need to know.
Truth Nation, make sure again y'all watch and stream us live on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, as this is Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth for myself. Or you can also open up the 1017 The Truth app as well, and you can stream us live. I always ask folks to do that as well. But for the Weekend Recap, this is just a reminder that people have to be better. So the Weekend Recap that I have today is going to be a little bit different because it's going to start off the overall theme that I have for the show. We're going to continue this because I do have a question as usual for y'all, Truth Nation. Is, for me, the stories I'm going to share is wicked, and it shows the violence that we have in this country. See, what is happening in the U.S. is that we are losing our humanity. We are truly using our humanity, and we are, we're not seeing people as human beings. It's something that we always talk about, is not seeing our brother as our brother here in the community of Milwaukee when we see the killings that go on. But the things that I'm seeing is that we are seeing people as disposable beings, right? Where we can make a decision whether or not this person is here or not. And something most definitely has to change from that. And so, for me, when I want to start off of something that happened in Chicago. Now, there was a physical altercation between two women during a school drop-off in Chicago last week. And according to report and witnesses, they claim that this woman was ambushed during a heated moment with her son's father and the son's father's girlfriend. Now, what ensued after this is the fact there was an argument, and they said that this woman, the baby mom, was put in a headlock by the father of her child, and somehow through all this, in the headlock, somebody got a gun and shot this woman in front of a school. Just remember, they're dropping their son off at school. She's dropping her son off at school. She ended up getting shot in the head. Shot in the head while dropping her son off to school, and allegedly the gunfire came from the girlfriend of the baby daddy. Now, according to Root, there was a handwritten note that this mother had written to her son that was placed in her son's lunchbox that morning before the shooting. And it was posted on social media. In the note, it said, "Fresh start. You can start off strong. Always remain yourself. You're the coolest, smartest, and funniest kid I know. I love you so much, and you make me so proud. Have a great day. Mommy loves you. Love, Mommy." Now, that is sad to know that this mother dropped her son off at school. The father comes. An argument ensues. The mother somehow allegedly gets put in a headlock, and then the girlfriend of the baby daddy shoots this woman in the head, all in front of a school. And so this is so sad, and we should have so much outrage and try to figure out what happened. And nobody's in custody right now. And I just am so confused about the anger and animosity and tension that we have in this country, where you can argue with somebody in front of a school where you drop off your kid. Do we understand how unhealthy it is to send a kid to school coming from arguments? But then on top of that, we send a kid to school and you arguing in front of a school, and you shoot and kill somebody outside of a school where guns aren't even allowed on the premises. We have a problem here in America, and that's going to be the theme that we talk about today. Because this man no longer has the mother of his child on earth, and this man's son no longer has his mother on earth. We need to learn that violence is not the answer, and killing somebody is not the answer. This is a travesty on all levels. Now, to continue on with this theme of what in the hell is going on in this world, is that a man in Dallas, Texas is accused of using a machete to behead his boss in front of his family at the motel where they both work at. And this is according to reports and court documents. And what is crazy about this is the fact that this was all over something so simple and minute. This was all over a broken washing machine, and the boss talking to somebody and having them translate what he was trying to say to this employee that ended up losing his damn mind. And when I tell y'all this story, it's disgusting. And it again shows how evil people are in this world. And there's actually a video that shows this crazy attack. This crazed man attacking another human being with a machete can be seen on video. Matter of fact, my barber was talking about it this weekend when I was in a barber chair. And in this video, you will see a hotel manager, running away from the victim, right? He's running away from the victim towards a parking lot, the motel's front office. He's running. And why is he running and screaming? It's because he's being chased with a man with a machete. He's being chased with a man with a machete over a dang washing machine in the way that somebody was having something translated. And to make matters even worse, Truth Nation, the victim's wife and son walked out to try to intervene and stop this from happening. But when the wife and son tried to intervene, the perpetrator pushed the wife to the side and continued to attack the victim, decapitating his head. Yes, decapitating his head. And after he decapitated his head with a machete, he kicked the head and then he picked the head up and threw it in a garbage. Do y'all understand how insane someone has to be? What is happening in this world? And so why I bring these stories up is because I want to examine that in both of these instances, there was a social media aspect to it. And this is all around the same time that we had the social media incident of Charlie Kirk being murdered for everybody to see. This is also during the same time where Luigi Mangione, the individual that killed the CEO of United Healthcare, is getting ready to go on trial tomorrow. See, I want to examine that between these senseless acts of violence and the things that we continue to see, where is the overall morale of this country? Because it has to be at an all-time low. And what's crazy about this nonsense happening in the world, this senseless violence, there are some people that find this funny, and there are some people who are lauding this. When I Google, and you can Google yourself, I Google, when is Luigi Mangione's court date? And one of the things that popped up as something that people have looked up is, how do I write Luigi Mangione, somebody who killed and murdered a CEO of United Healthcare? How do I write him a letter? That is problematic. It is extremely problematic that we have people lauding, fawning, and cheering for a man who murdered somebody on camera. You can see it again on camera. You have the Kirk shooting that occurred last week, where people who cheered and celebrated this. And listen, I care about the pain and suffering and the struggle of folks who deal with United Healthcare and what they have caused. I understand. I feel you. But you cannot kill somebody because of that. And I think Charlie Kirk was an opportunist. I think he was a poor man. I think he used hate speech and racism to enrage people and make people angry as a means to make money. But getting killed ain't it. So 833-212-1017, what has happened to our society, Truth Nation? When did we become so desensitized to all the gross and gory behavior and content out here? When did it become the norm to see murder videos? I just gave y'all 4 examples in the last less than 12 months, literally in the last 9 months. I just gave you 4 examples where you can watch someone get murdered. Whether it's the CEO getting shot in the back of the head or in the back, whether it's Charlie Kirk getting shot, and you've seen it on social media, whether it is the fight and disruption that happened outside of the school that you can see some stuff on social media, or whether it is a video of this man chasing somebody with a machete and chopping off his head in public. How do we have so much access to this? This has become normal. And kids can see this. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talking text line. When we come back, I want to examine all of this, but I want to hear from y'all, because I'm getting to the point that even myself, I got to turn the social media off. That I don't want to see all this stuff. These heinous crimes, these gory crimes. At what point did our country get to this where we're so willing and open to seeing these awful, terrible images? Again, 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talking text line. What has happened to our society? I want to examine that and what this social media is doing to our minds and what it is doing to our children, what it is doing to our psyche. On the other side, it is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Again, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure you give us a subscribe. But on the other side, we're going to continue this conversation on how did we get here in this country.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to the host of Hoops Tonight, Jim Tipp. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at Hawes Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact Hawes of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. That's because when you feel protected, you're free to enjoy your dreams. From decorating a new nursery to hosting a family reunion in your new backyard, they have you at American Family Insurance. So always remember, insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Visit amfam.com today to get a quote instantly like that for a home or auto policy, or you can simply go to amfam.com to find an agent near you. 833-212-1017. This is Truth to Power right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host, Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And on the other side, I was just having a conversation, just general, about some of the stuff that I've seen that has just been too graphic. It has literally been too graphic. And I'm just trying to understand, when as a society did it become the norm for us to be able to just go on social media and just like that you have access to so many graphic images that in my mind could mess with somebody's head. But again, 833-212-1017. I've come to the conclusion, Truth Nation, that America is sick. America is sick, Truth Nation, because last week really exposed and reminded us how sick and crazy and deranged this country is. That's what it reminded me of. And I don't know the answer to how we fix all of this and how we move away from all this. I really don't. And I get it. I saw on YouTube, Mata Elephant said, come on, Kyle, regardless of what we say or do, this country was founded on violence, 100%. I get it. I fully understand that. I understand that the original explorers, pilgrims, settlers who got to this land, they displayed sick and disgusting behavior. I get it. They completely, they sickened people, they wiped out people, they raped people. I understand what the founders or the foundation and the people who first got to this North American continent and settled in this land of, that they found that is now called the United States, even though there were already people here. I fully understand the grotesque things that they did. I get it. This behavior is nothing new. They display sick and disgusting behavior. But at some point, all societies are supposed to evolve, aren't they? They're supposed to get better. And the American evolution, to me, should have led to us being less savage. Because let me tell you, I feel like the things that happened when we first founded this country were savage-like, the way they wiped out people. And to me, the country has just found different ways to continue to be a savage-like society. And I just spoke about a woman and her baby daddy getting into it in front of a school. And the fact that the woman was shot and killed in front of a school after she dropped off her 6-year-old son. She had a gun at a school. Why? I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it. This behavior is crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. I also just talked about the fact that a man's head was decapitated. His head was decapitated by someone who worked for him because of a disagreement that they had about work. And with that, he chopped off the head in front of the victim's wife and son. The victim ran for his life. And on top of that, the man was so sick in the mind that he kicked the head on the ground like a video game, like he was playing Tekken or Mortal Kombat. And he picked it up and he threw it in the garbage. Like, Truth Nation, this is things that you see from a movie. This is a movie, but unfortunately, this is reality, and it was caught on camera for people to continue to see and watch and consume on camera. We just talked about the Charlie Kirk video that we saw on camera. People talk about the blood oozing out on camera, the imagery. You can't get this out of your mind. Now, Truth Nation, we sadly live in this gory and violent society where we consume so much not suitable for life content. There's something called NSFW, not suitable for work content. I call it not suitable for life content. Because that's what this is. It's not suitable for life type content that we need to be watching people get themselves beheaded. Like they're getting lined up to a gallows. We should evolve from that. Where somebody is shooting, they lose control of their emotions that they shoot and kill somebody at a dang school. Where they just dropped off the child. To the fact that we see somebody get shot in the neck and the video is everywhere on social media where you can't run away from it. And I don't think we fully understand how damaging this is to us as adults, but thinking about how impressionable our children are and they're consuming this type of content. There's this whole world, I watched a video, the whole world about this meme world online that is also brainwashing and desensitizing our children. I know nothing about it. I read about it. I watched videos about it. There's a whole world out here that I didn't even know existed when it comes to this meme culture, these kids who are coming up right now. Some of these back-end millennials, but mostly Gen Zers, who came up through this culture. They're being brainwashed. And what used to be a false idol and cult-like, leading people, and they traveled to different places to join a cult, that's how you got brainwashed and consumed stuff. Now all you have to do is click something, and kids can consume awful, awful content all at their fingertips. It's a crazy world that we're living in. And Truth Nation, I remember when I was a kid. And I remember being a kid, I always talk about dad's in the basement all the time. He hang out in the basement all the time, right? And I remember my dad and my uncle were downstairs one time when I was probably maybe 10 years old, 11 years old. They were down in the basement. They were watching the History Channel. We're big History Channel folks here at the Wallaces. We love the History Channel. Big fans. I still go over there now and it'd be on the kitchen TV. My dad just be having it on. Nobody even in the kitchen, but just on. I'm like, why y'all got this TV on? But we love history. We believe in history, right? But I'll never forget this. When I went downstairs one time with my father and my uncle, right? I got to hang out with my family. And they were watching a documentary about John F. Kennedy. And if you know anything about John F. Kennedy, which we all do, John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Now, with that, as a kid, I'm with my dad, I'm with my uncle, we just watching the History Channel. I'm learning something. But I'll never forget, Truth Nation, I'll never forget that moment. I never forget the moment that messed with my head for a while. It messed with my head because I can recall being down there watching it, and I saw the moment that Kennedy was assassinated. I still recall seeing Kennedy get shot. And I remember his wife, Jackie, turning back to grab for his head. And I remember in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Remember, I'm 10, 11 years old. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I just saw somebody die. I just saw somebody get killed. That was not a movie. That was real life. I remember her turning around to go grab his head. At that time, I thought his head fell off, but no, his head didn't fall off, but it exploded, basically. But I remember how traumatized I was when I saw that. Like, I can still feel the shock and see the imagery in my head. I wanted to erase it, and I never wanted to see it again. And I always avoid seeing the assassination of John F. Kennedy because I don't want to see somebody die. Yes, Andrew, you have a comment.
You're not watching the Zapruder film?
No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of watching it. And in addition to that, I always remember Emmett Till. And I remember in school, we learned about Emmett Till back in middle school. And I remember we watched a movie about Emmett Till. We were all in the main area. The way my school worked, they had two sides. They had the, I forgot what it's called, A and B side, I think it was. But all together, we came in between the middle area where all the kids were outside the classroom and they were watching Black History. And we were watching a story talking about the history of Emmett Till, which I thought was so important because, remember, I went to the suburbs for school. Milwaukee boy, but went out to the burbs. And to me, anytime we talked about Black history, I took great pride in that. I took great pride in my projects being about African-American historical figures. I took great pride in being able to talk about the Harlem Renaissance, Marcus Garvey, talk about anything I could to make sure I was educating these folks on Black history. And so I still remember us watching the documentary about Emmett Till in school, and I remember they showed us what he looked like, and I was stunned. I was stunned, and I was like, whoa. But I was also kind of scarred at that point because I wasn't expecting to see somebody, again, a dead body, but what they had did to his face. But again, it shocked me, and I covered my eyes like, why did they show us that? Why didn't they warn us? But the reason why I bring this up, Truth Nation, I use these as examples because what was once a lesson in school, what was once on the History Channel, is now just an everyday social media occurrence for our kids. They're being fed this content. They have access to this content. You literally cannot go on social media and not see some of this gory content on some days. You can go on social media on a day-to-day basis and you can go and find videos of people being killed. We have to think about what is this doing to people and what is this doing to our children. 833-212-1017. Allen, Milwaukee, what are your thoughts on this conversation?
Well, when they remove the head from the body of the snake, you're supposed to drink the blood of the snake.
A little bit too soon, Al, with the fact that this man literally removed the head from the body of a human being.
Well, see, you have to understand these are mediocre men. Mediocre men always want to play heroes and freedom fighters when they are actually the villain. What really happened, what should have happened, is when he cut that head off, the wife should have pulled out a 38 long and blasted his head like a watermelon. Okay? That's what she should have did. But see, the man did it because he felt the man was weak. And they only do it when they know the person going to turn the other cheek. I always say talk to your grandparents or your great-grandparents, because one thing they know, we ain't never walked their shoes, but they know how to get them together. And the only thing you have to do is stand by them and understand their philosophy. But if you turn the other cheek, you deserve to get what you're going to get. And that's why we where we are.
Al, can I ask you a good day. Al, can I ask you a quick question about the things you just talked about, right? They're descriptive, they're gory, they're sick. But think about this. How do you feel about the fact that human beings, us, me, you, children, are consuming some of the things that you just talked? You talked about removing the head from the body. You legitimately, something people can see now.
Yeah.
Is that okay? How do you feel about that? Is that damaging our community, our children, our people?
Well, it's damaging our community, and they're going to do it because they know there's no consequences for it. A bully only going to mess with a bully. A bully is only going to mess with somebody who ain't going to clap back. If somebody said, I'm going to go upside your head, and you say, I still love you, it's what you expect going to happen. What the goal is to scare people into submission. That's why they always push back from the people who are 10 toes down, who say, if you kick in my door, your blood will paint the concrete like Picasso. And them are the ones they going to say violent. But when they say remove the crust from the pie, then you can see all the rock. So you have to remove the crust from the pie, because what we see on TV, what we see in administration is dead souls, and you see nothing but rot. That's why they're dropping out, because they know they're not no good. They've been raised by animals, and what you see is what you get.
Al, thank you. I hope Al never goes crazy. Because let me tell you, the way he be talking, Al, I'm on your team. I just want you to know that. I don't want to be dragged across the country. What did he say? He said some blood dragged across. Woo. No, thank you. But 833-212-1017, it leads me to, what happened to our society? When did we become so desensitized to all this gross and gory behavior and content, the fact that even Al was just describing it? How did we get here? 833-212-1017. Lisa, I see you. We will get to you on the other side. Y'all can also watch and stream us live on YouTube, because I'm appalled by what I'm seeing. I'm but also nervous. We're gonna take these calls, but I also want to talk about the fact that we need to be mindful of how this is impacting us, right? The people, the society, but also how this is impacting children. But 833-212-1017. We're gonna get Winky Blue, I see you. Lisa, I see you. I see another call coming in. We're gonna get these calls. We're gonna get this text. Make sure y'all watch the streamers live on YouTube, because we gotta get America is sick, I understand, but at some point, we got to stop with all this, because we're doing nothing but damaging ourselves. But before we go to break, are you ready to level up your mindset, money, and your future? Join Coach Erica Odom, real estate investor, success coach, and published author, for our new monthly show, On the Journey with Coach Erica. Every month, she will give you real strategies, proven tips, and the mindset shifts you need to reach your goals. Tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. as Erica will be joined by Alexandria Ellis of Giovanna Wellness LLC and Rashad Washington of Pro Painter USA for a great discussion. That's On the Journey with Coach Erica, live tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. We'll take your calls. We'll take your guests coming up on the other side.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Fall in Milwaukee, where the air is crisp, the drinks are cold, and the good times are just heating up. Stroll Milwaukee's lakefront and explore its parks as they burst into a kaleidoscope of golds, ambers, and reds. Raise a glass at a beer garden that feels like a neighborhood block party, Milwaukee style. And just as the temps fall, Brewers baseball is turning up the heat. October dreams are made right here. This season, every color, every cheer, every sip, it all comes together in Milwaukee. Craft your perfect getaway at visitmilwaukee.org.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
I want you to really stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. And to your point, our black and brown donors probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base. That's attributed to multiple reasons. For those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system. And quite frankly, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. The only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just what I'll call average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Green Bay Packers lead the NFC North at 2-0 after wins over Detroit and Washington. They'll head to Cleveland next Sunday to face the Browns at noon. The Brewers win their series against the Cardinals but lose the final game of the series 3-2.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Riley O'Brien avenges his blown save from yesterday, closes the door on the Brewers today. Your final 3-2, St. Louis.
The Crew will now host the Angels for a 3-game set. Brewers sit at 91-59 atop the MLB. Badger football fell to Alabama 38-14. The Badgers are now 2-1 on the season and will head back home to face Maryland next Saturday. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
Truth. Steinhoffel's this month, Truth Nation. Test rest any mattress. When you do that, you'll get a $20 restaurant gift card. Love to eat. Free gift card. So dinner is on Steinhoffel's, but more importantly, Steinhoffel's will also donate $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. Special Spaces Wisconsin is an amazing charity that creates dream bedrooms for kids who have cancer. So head to Steinhoffel's this September, take a test rest, enjoy a night out, and help make a child's dream bedroom come true. Again, you test rest a mattress, they'll give you a $20 gift card, but more importantly, they'll give $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. So go ahead and go to any Steinhoffel's and test rest one of the mattresses that they have. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I'm your host, Kyle Walton. Again, I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. I'm asking a question: is social media destroying our society, desensitizing our society? Because if you're like me, you're on social media, what you would have seen is you would have seen constant images of Charlie Kirk getting shot. You would have seen, you go on social media, you can see constant, them talking about a dude getting his head decapitated. Like, we're being exposed to all of this gory, disgusting, not suitable for life content for people to see, and kids have access to see this stuff. What is this doing to our mental and our psyche? 833-212-1017. Remember, you can also watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We also have a YouTube poll up. Is social media ruining our society? But Lisa, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. What are your thoughts on today's conversation?
Hey, good afternoon. Hey, I was just wondering, we've had a lot of disturbing things in the past. I was just telling your producer, or who answers the phone, that the Asian girl that was running down the street when they were bombing, she was naked. I remember seeing that in a book when I was a child. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can't recall. A video when they were bombing. You talking about Hiroshima?
Yes. And the little girl. She lived through that, I guess.
Oh, Vietnam. Oh, Vietnam. Okay, in Vietnam. Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and that was like very disturbing to me seeing that picture. But I mean, that photographer got an award. You know what I mean, for that picture. And then I think so did the woman who videoed George Floyd. Got a, you know what I mean, award.
Yeah.
For videoing. You know what I mean? So it seems disturbing. I mean, when we were younger, we had to watch the news, and the news was edited. You know what I mean? So we didn't get the whole thing.
Yep. Now, Lisa, I appreciate you. Now we get the whole thing. I mean, you literally have. Thank you, Lisa, for the call. But you have. That's the issue, is that when you talk about the Vietnam little girl, 9 years old, who was running because of the napalm that was being dropped and poisoning people. That was imagery that was provided to you via the news, right? It wasn't imagery provided to you at the click of your fingers on Twitter X. I didn't even search Charlie Kirk stuff. It just popped up on. I did try to search it to show my mom a video that was. I want to show her a blurred out video, but I didn't search it. And the thing is, when I sat down, I literally sat down at 1:57 to do my show at 2:00, and somebody said, "Look," he didn't give me no warning. He just said, "Look." I'm like, "What am I looking at?" Did somebody just get shot? What is this? What is this video of? I didn't know what it was. But that is how desensitized we are to this, is that people are just like, hey, look, somebody's dying right in front of your face. Something's wrong with our country and our community. Winky Blue, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How do you feel about social media ruining our society, and are we becoming too desensitized to this gory imagery and content?
Well, brother, we become numb to this situation, and it's sad. It's very sad because then there's no more people. You won't rescue anyone anymore. Killing becomes a norm. You know, there's no fear after life, after death, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, along with the video games, you know, the Call of Duties, the other one, you know, these games, man. Grand Theft Autos. I mean, you make the people almost real, you know, and it's mad. The whole society is mad. And I tell you something. Along with that, brother, comes along with immorality. All of it blends together, and you know what we got? We got a chaotic world right now. And then when I hear a caller call in, he doesn't understand that when you make certain statements, you're making a manifesto. And it'll be on our hands or the radio station hands if we listen to these manifestos of getting a butcher knife, going out, going to kill and gut somebody, and it's directed towards a certain people. These are manifestos, and if we seen that on the internet and we didn't report it or such, then they would probably come after us and say we're guilty of that. So we have to be careful. And I don't think people understand that this radio is really is monitored, and you're really putting together a manifesto, whether it's a good one or a bad one, whether it's political or whether it's just rhetoric of your own source, as such. So we should be careful of that. And if anybody goes out and commit a crime, and we done heard them get on here and say what they feel and how they feel and what they gonna do, and we didn't go to the rescue, man, we could be deemed liable for that kind of stuff, man. We got to be careful of what we allow in our spirits, in our whole.
Winky, I appreciate you, and I condemn any of that type of conversation and talk. So I appreciate you chiming in. But 833-212-1017, the caller, what are your thoughts about the conversation about, or have we been desensitized to this gory imagery and videos that we see on social media? Where has our society gone?
Well, there are a lot of people who are asleep, like the previous caller, who are part of the call. And anytime you hear somebody speak of self-defense and you describe it as a manifesto, you're no better than Laura Ingraham, who said George Floyd was a crackhead and that he died of crack, and we watched him be lynched in the streets. And so what we're doing here is we're utilizing what I said earlier, what Dr. Claude Anderson called broad and ambiguous conversation to describe something that someone said very specific. Al talked about defense, and Winky decided to reframe his statement. So I'm fact-checking Winky there, which I have to do so often because he is asleep at the wheel. And as long as we have people asleep at the wheel, we can't defend the young people who are more impressionable. And I refuse to engage in social media being a reason for people committing evil. Way before social media was a thing, there has been evil in the world, and there are some people who stand by, who are complicit. And Dr. King, I believe, said to stand by anyone who is victimizing somebody is to not stand with the victim. And so that's what Winky frequently does. And that is
I don't want to have this be a back and forth about Winky. I want to kind of focus on just.
It's just a fact check that there has always been evil way before social media. You can look at the third stanza of our national anthem and what it speaks of, which certain, I won't say his name again, certain people who call on the radio dangerously to sin. It's to divide us who should be together, and it is to support a cult that on January 6th.
I appreciate you call. I'm short on time. I'm trying to give everybody enough space, but I hear what you're saying. 833-212-1017. The last caller here, and I appreciate everybody calling in, but we got phone lines here. A lot of people on the line. Black Conscious, what are your thoughts on this conversation about the desensitization of humanity through social media and in general, and what we see and what we consume?
Well, we're in the signs of the times. And it all comes from video games, movies, the Quintinos, the Purges, and all of that. And yes, we have become desensitized. Let something happen like that, the first thing people do is pull out their phones and record it to put it on social media. We are a bloodthirsty nation who breeds violence, who lives violence. It runs through our veins. And everybody has their opinions, but nothing is going to change because that's what America is all about. It's sewn in the fabric of America. And it's only going to get worse, my brother. Sorry to say, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Because that is where we at.
Black Conscious, I appreciate you.
We ain't going to do nothing to live righteous, Milwaukee.
Yeah, I that's my biggest fear. When this year started, after the election, I think I told the story. My fiance can't stand Trump. My girl, she cannot stand Trump. And with that, she was extreme when it came to the election. And I said, it'll be okay, baby. It'll be okay. She said, I don't want to have kids during this time. And I told her, you're extreme. We'll be all right. And now when I look at what's happening in this world and I think about social media, I think about all this and the fact that this is not on Trump because we've had this craziness before, but I feel like the level of intensity and the lack of somebody that's willing to come in and calm it down is what we're missing. And I was watching a video, a reminder of last year during the election time. There was a video, remember when Joe Biden was campaigning and he made a stop in the rural America because, he traveled to rural America. He spoke their language. And there was a gentleman there who had on a Trump hat, Trump 2024 hat. And Joe Biden offered him his hat, which was like a United States presidential seal hat, and he offered a sign. And they went back and forth. And he said, here, take this hat, not that hat. And he took the Trump hat, and the gentleman said, well, you put the Trump hat on. And so Biden took the hat and put the Trump hat on and laughed about it. Said, you take this back. But the civility that you saw there, right? The fact that he understood that it's not about Democrat or Republican. It's about the fact that we're all human beings, the goodness in our heart, the kindness in our heart. And I feel like we are straying away from understanding that at the end of the day, it's not about blue or red. It's not about black or white. It's not about Asian or Hispanic. It's about the fact that we all are human beings who may have different levels of melanin, different culture, where we come from, but we still are human beings. And if you are a believer in Christianity or whatever you believe in, whether it's God or Allah, whatever you believe in, is that we all have the same teachings of one to love one another. And sadly, I feel like we're going in a direction as a country where the disgusting rhetoric and the gory images are all too often becoming the norm. And I take issue with that. But on the other side, we'll wrap up the show. This is Truth to Power. Kyle Wallace right here on the award-winning. Oh, shout out to Andrew. He got the video, the picture up there. We'll wrap up the show coming up in 3 minutes here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this
Congratulations. Woo!
God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Aww.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at HAWS Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact HAWS of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Celebrate the reigning queens of disco with Disco Divas, running at the Bradley Symphony Center September 26th through the 28th. Principal Pops conductor Byron Stripling will lead the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and an all-star trio of vocalists in all of your favorite hits from the disco era. Think Donna Summer, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Chaka Khan, as well as the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind & Fire, and even Michael Jackson. Those silky high strings and thumping bass lines will never sound better as you dance and sing along in your seat to tunes like I Will Survive, We Are Family, I'm Coming Out, and more. So what are you waiting for? Get those sequins out of storage and call the box office now at 414-291-7605 for Disco Divas or visit mso.org.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
One call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. If you or a loved one is ever seriously injured in an accident or just hurt in an accident, y'all know who to call. It is Gruber Law Offices. They focus on a legal aspect while you as a client can focus on healing, Truth Nation. It's just one call, that's all, and they will handle the rest. And y'all know the best thing I love about them, they care about you. But there's no fee, there's no cost to retain them, consult with them as a law firm, and you never pay a single penny until they win your case. Get with the winning law firm today by visiting gruber-law.com or making one call, that's all, to 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and again, we're coming live to you from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a share right here on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And to share my final thoughts from today, because again, I consumed a lot of information. I've been on my phone, and I'm so sick of it. Matter of fact, I was on my phone, I saw Charlie Kirk's wife, who she's grieving. But she had a picture, and she was holding her husband's hand in the picture. It seemed like a photo op, but I don't know. I was like, I don't want to see a dead man hand on my social media. I'm just tired of it. But more importantly, Truth Nation, the whole point that I want us to understand is that studies have shown that this isn't good. You can going on social media and seeing people getting shot and killed on a daily basis. This is not healthy for our kids. It's not healthy for our society. Kids and young people who have access to this are being traumatized, right? And to make matters worse, you have video editing tools and AI that make it hard to decipher what is real and what is fake. And studies are showing that these graphic videos and images that we see on social media are damaging our kids' mental health. It is increasing their risk of anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, body image issues, and particularly with those who excessively use social media. So we have to stop normalizing this stuff. And I am a firm believer in you see it more and more, people will attempt and copycat. I'm a big believer in that. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we have entered an age of kids being born in after the year 2000 during this technological age where we have seen an uptick in school violence. Since 2016, we have seen a steady rise in school shootings. 2020 was a clear decline. We know why. But I do not think it's a coincidence in what we have seen. We need to monitor social media more, and we need to push back against the access that people have on social media and what they see. Because for one, I'm sick of seeing all that stuff on social media. But Truth Nation, I appreciate y'all, and again, I just say love one another. And during these trying and weird times that we have people glorifying murderers or people getting killed, people beheading folks, people doing all this gory, disgusting stuff, be the peace and be the light during this dark, dark time in American history. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. America has always been sick, but damn, it doesn't look like we'll ever find a cure. This has been Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. The Tory Lowe Show is up next from 1 to 4. Peace out, Truth Nation. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all. What up, Truth Nation? It's Kyle Wallace, and I'm broadcasting live from Tsunami.